The magical run has finally come to an end as Auburn falls to Florida 79-73. What's up? We're back. It's another episode of the Barn Hoops Podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Rush, aka Charlie Five, and we are ready to get after. We've had so many of these that have been upbeat, so many of these that have been special, so many wins to celebrate in this magical season, this magical run that we've had, and it finally comes to an end as Auburn just didn't quite have it tonight to take down the Florida Gators. Had a really good defensive game plan. We're going to break that down. But at the end of the day, the shots just didn't fall. The shots just didn't fall. And it ultimately sunk Auburn's chances at a national title. Maybe their best chance. Definitely in recent, best chance in history at a national title. And we'll go through all that here in just a moment. Before we do that, we have to give a quick shout out to Uncle Keith's Red Sauce. Go to UncleKeith'sRedSauce.com. Use coupon code TheBarn25 to take 25% off your order. If you live in the state of Alabama and you live close to a Publix, you can try it there. If you don't, go ahead and buy in bulk, man. Go ahead and get you a big old case of it because I know you're going to love it. If you love salsa, you want to try it with a little Southern kick, you need to give this stuff a shot. An Auburn family that you can support as well, an Auburn product. So show them some love. Uncle Keith's Red Sauce. It's good, y'all. Auburn falls to Florida 79-73, and it was a great game. I mean, it was a really great game. The first 5 or 6 minutes ago, up until the first TV timeout, was incredible basketball. I mean, incredible basketball. Shot making on both sides. And then Auburn started to go cold early in the second half. Auburn ended the first half, I think, with an 8-point lead, 8 or 9-point lead. You did not feel comfortable. I wouldn't have felt comfortable anything under 20 points with this Florida team because they just continue to be able to dig themselves out of holes. Walter Clayton Jr. is incredible. Charles Barkley had the line of the century. He said, I don't know if Walter Clayton Sr. could play ball, but Walter Clayton Jr. sure as hell can. I thought that was hilarious. And he did. He had an unbelievable game. I think he scored 34 points. Yeah, and then, Auburn just couldn't get shot. I think that was the story of the game. In the second half, Auburn just couldn't get shots to fall, especially when they need it. And then you got some weird bounces. Like this is just a story of the game in that second half. You're down 4. There's, I don't know what, 20 or 30 seconds left. Florida's at the line for a 1-and-1. They missed the first one. They missed the front end of a 1-and-1. We crashed the boards in great position, but the ball hit the very back of the rim. And if you've played basketball at all and you've done this, if you hit that back of the rim just perfect, that thing will absolutely rocket out of it into an incredibly long rebound. And it just so happened that it hit the back of the rim and went over the wall that we had created. And they got the rebound, and then I think they got an and one or something like that shortly thereafter. That was an opportunity that Auburn had to really, make a charge. There was another chance I thought Tahad, made a bad decision. We were down 6 with very little time, and he goes in for a dunk basically. When a layup with a left hand, it was on his left side, probably could have drawn an and one, got you some extra points, just couldn't quite make the plays, and then the shot didn't fall. The three-pointer that had been a strength for Auburn all year completely left Auburn for the tournament. I did the numbers earlier. Auburn shot right at 38% from three in the regular season, 38% in conference play. And then the last three games, I'm sorry, not the last three games, the last, I took out the Alabama State game because Miles Kelly's numbers kind of skewed it. But the last last four games of the tournament, Auburn shot under 30% from three. Don't know how to explain that. I don't know that you can put I don't know where to put the blame. I don't know that you do put blame anywhere. I think it was just one of those things. I mean, Miles Kelly, would you have ever thought Miles Kelly over the last 5 games would have gone 5 for 25 from three? Would you have ever expected that? Would you have ever expected Denver Jones over the last 2 games to go 1 of 7? Would you have expected Tahad Pettiford to go 4 of 11? Hold on. Yeah, no, this is the first game. Sorry. Would you have expected Tahad Pettiford to go 0 for 4 from 3 in this game? 1 of 6 from the field with 3 turnovers after the last 3 games he's had. I don't want to say the moment was too big. I don't want to go all the cliche things. I think it just boils down to those 3 guys struggled, and that's well worth the 6-point differential. That more than explains that 6-point differential, more than explains them being able to erase an 8-point lead in seemingly seconds. They were tied up or had the lead within like the very first few minutes of the second half. We had a couple turnovers. They kept hitting shots. Just couldn't get enough shots to fall to go blow for blow with Florida there down the stretch. Really hate it that that's those guys' their last games. We'll talk about, who all were losing and everything and what all they've meant to this team here in just a little bit. But yeah, what a tough way to go out. Just couldn't get shots to fall. I think it's as simple as that. I don't think you have to look super deep into anything. I don't think you have to look super deep into scheme. I don't think you have to look super deep into play calling, game planning. Did so-and-so get out coached? I don't think you have to go that deep in anything. Simply put, we just did not hit shots. And it wasn't really like there were some times late in the game where we couldn't get into our sets, and there was a couple of shot clock violations late that I thought were, silly. You're a Final Four team. You should be able to get a shot off. You should be able to draw something up on a possession to be able to get a shot off. So there was a couple of instances of that. But for the most part, we were getting good looks. Getting good looks from three, a lot of good looks from three. I can think of Miles Kelly late in the game getting one. Miles is not a quick catch and release type shooter. Walter Clayton Jr. can shoot from any angle. He can shoot from, moving left. He can shoot moving right. He can shoot going back. He can shoot from any angle. Miles cannot. Miles has to be dead on, pretty much set, and he got one of those late, a point blank, just dead on, fast break, really, and couldn't hit it. I don't think it has to go much deeper than that. And that happens. Those games happen. The more I look at it, the better I feel about the defensive game plan, and I'll explain that here in just a second. I think Auburn had a great defensive game plan. You just couldn't hit shots. and I don't think it has to go any deeper than that. Before we go into the defensive game plan, let's give a quick shout out to mybookie.ag. Use coupon code BARN for a 50% deposit bonus. Give them whatever you give them. They're going to give you 50% back on that to play with in free play. Take that, hit a parlay, hit a teaser, whatever you want to do. They got all the different ways you can bet. The first half, second halves. You still got, I guess, the championship game on Monday. NBA, Major League Baseball, all kind of stuff. It's mybookie.ag. If you need a good real estate agent in the Auburn, Opelika area, hit me up. You can message me on Twitter, message me on Instagram. You can email me at krush@thekey.agency.realestate. I'd love to help you. If you want to buy, build, or sell your house, or you just want to invest in Auburn, I'm your guy. So give me a shout. I'd love to help you and your family. We'll be back right after this. When Auburn played their Florida the very first time, to me, the story of the game were the bigs. Walter Clayton. I want to call him Mark Clayton for some reason. I don't know. I struggle over that every single time. I want to call him Mark Clayton, and I don't even know a Mark Clayton. Walter Clayton, the first time they played, I say only scored 19 points. The story of that game was their bigs. Their bigs controlled that game. Between, I guess it's Hoff or Houck, however they say it, Thomas Houck and Alex Condon, they scored 33 points and had 19 rebounds. Chinaloo is not really an offensive guy. He only scored 4 points. Logden did not play in that game. But the story of the game were those two bigs. Man, Auburn, that's a tough matchup for Auburn because of those bigs. Their bigs are good. They got a lot of them. Auburn couldn't do anything with them. That was really the story. They scored 90 points in that game. 90-81. Probably could have scored 100 if they really wanted to, that particular game. I felt like this was a completely different game. Auburn completely took out their bigs. So you go from 33 points to 13. Condon had 1 point. 1 point and 4 rebounds. Hawk had 12 points and 5 rebounds. He had a couple of big ones. He hit a big three. He had a big and one at the end. But for the most part, the bigs, we completely took them out of the game. If you would have told me before this game, Florida's only going to score 79 points and the bigs are only going to score 13, I would have said Auburn wins 85-79. Complete change from the first game. They shot better from 3 the first game. They shot better from 2 the first game. They were terrible they were bad from the line, just like Auburn was. And I think that may have helped. That definitely helped Auburn a good bit. But overall, I thought you played a much better game defensively. There's a lot of folks saying, I know, and some of it is just the emotion, and we just say things and we don't really look at it and think about it. Oh, Bruce got outcoached. Bruce got outclassed. This and that. We had a terrible game plan. If you go from matchup to matchup, it's pretty clear what the goal was, and the goal was achieved. Basically, if Mark Clayton has to hit fall away, fade away threes, they have to shoot crazy turnaround jump shots. I mean, if that's the case, then that's just the case. We can't let the big score 33 points on us and clean up on the boards. We can't do that again. But unfortunately, you had Walter Clayton Jr., who's having the best tournament. The last 2 games are some of the more incredible basketball I've seen in my lifetime from a guy, from a single player. Steph Curry type production. I know some of it's like, man, how do you give him those looks? I mean, some of those shots that he was hitting were just well defended. There's nothing else you could say. They're well defended. They just went in. There were multiple possessions that Florida would go, and the commentators were making note of it. There were multiple possessions they would go, and Clayton couldn't even get his hands on the ball because Auburn was doing everything they could to deny the inlet pass to him. Miles Kelly was on him a lot. Played really well. That guy just had it in his guy just had it in his heart that night that he wasn't gonna lose this game. And we couldn't answer that. We couldn't answer that intensity from the guard position. But I mean, again, if you would have told me at the beginning of the game, Florida scores 79 points and their bigs only score 13 and they don't get a ton of rebounds, I would have said Auburn wins 85-79, something like that. I would have taken that all day long. All day long, I would have taken that. Even though that's more points than Auburn typically gives up, I just felt like if you could where Florida's big mismatch was to me, I just thought from game one to this game, their bigs were just completely dominant. We had nothing for them. And we kind of took it to them this game. That's what hurts, man. Really, that's what hurts is that it's literally just it's nothing more, nothing deeper than you just didn't hit shots. They got you open, they got you looks, you just didn't hit shots. I know that'll eat on these guys for quite a while. Man, it's going to stink. I think one of the things that hurt a lot as well is that's the last taste that you'll get of watching some of these guys. That's the last memory. I hope it's not. I hope that's not the lasting memory. The last game you get from Denver Jones, not one of his best defensive efforts. I don't want to say efforts, not one of his best defensive games, not one of his best offensive games. Miles Kelly, been sensational all year. Just a tough 4-game stretch for him. They're done, man. You don't see him anymore. Chaney, he kind of was irrelevant this tournament, it seemed like. I don't know why. I don't know why. He seemed to only be able to play if Johni was hurt. He was kind of just there. He just disappeared for mostly the whole tournament. It's the last chance we'll get to see him. Dylan Cardwell. What a tournament he had. What a tournament he had, man. Played some incredible basketball down the stretch. Defensively, rebounding, big offensive rebounds, all tournament long. Affecting the ball affecting on defense. He had 9 points this game. All of them were basically like point blank. That's his game. He maximized every bit of his potential in this tournament. He played at a level that he's never played before the whole tournament. That's all you can ask for. And he's done. That's it. No more Auburn basketball for Dylan Cardwell. That's freaking devastating. Johni Broome, not a super efficient night. Started off dominant. Then they did a lot of things to kind of limit where he got his touches. But still, 15 points, 7 boards. He's been averaging a double-double, I think. So I think he'll probably look back and feel like he left a little bit of meat on the bone. But, man, that guy's battled through so many injuries. He's put his heart on the line, his body on the line. Can't ask for much more, man. Other than just be a little bit better from the free throw line. But still, That's it. No more Johni Broome. Bruce Pearl called him possibly the best player, best transfer portal player of all time. And I think it's hard to argue that. Can't think of a better one. Great, an incredible season. I mean, all the accolades speak for themselves. 32 wins, unreal. Just unbelievable season. Unbelievable season. And you take it all the way to the Final Four. You duke it out with another incredible basketball team. You come up just a little bit short. Heartbreaking, but it is what it is. Now you got to keep moving on, keep moving forward, and get ready for next season. You got to hit the portal. We're going to be talking about that over the next couple of weeks, I'm sure. Got to rebuild. All those guys are gone. Got to rebuild. So, I really appreciate it. These reaction shows have vastly outweighed, have been vastly more fun than they've been not fun. Every one of them, just about. This one hurts, but it's still great to acknowledge how awesome this season's been. Hopefully we can keep it going. So, guys, I really appreciate it. If you like the video, like it. If you like the channel, subscribe to it. Don't forget to go to mybookie.ag and take advantage of that 50% deposit bonus. We'll be back again tonight live with Zach and Dap, recapping the season and what Auburn does moving forward. It's another episode of the Barn Hoops Podcast.